Dave, we're about to break in a minute-long segment coming up. In fact, we'll probably pull up Peace Sells and play some of that, but some of the new album as well. How do folks, what's the best way, where's the best place to get your new album, Endgame, and to support what you're doing?
Well, I would say through Amazon or through iTunes. You know, you can listen to the music in many, many places right now. MySpace and iTunes really supported us. AOLmusic.com has supported us, too, with this record. And Amazon, it's the #1 record at Amazon right now, and it's been that way for quite a few days. And,
#1.
Yep.
Endgame was #1 for a few days on DVD, my film. But I tell you, that is incredible. Dave, we're going to break again. I want to come back and talk more about the album. I should have mentioned that. Endgame from Megadeth, #1 in the USA. #1, and they're going on tour. We'll tell you about that. We'll talk more about the New World Order as well with Dave Mustaine.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones here to tell you about Cal Ben Soap. My staff and I just love the old-fashioned, pure, handmade soap produced by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company that's over 62 years old. Go to 5starsoaps.com or click on their link at Infowars.com. They have been a longtime sponsor of ours. Cal Ben Soaps meet the highest standards of quality, purity, and value. Everyone should use their great line of products. I consistently hear from my listeners and friends how much they love the Cal Ben Pure Soap products. Check out their whole line of bath, hair, laundry, and dish soap and more at 5starsoap.com. There is nothing like these factory direct, big money saving, triple concentrated soaps anywhere. Don't take my word for it. Get a free detailed catalog by calling toll-free 1-800-340-7091 or check them out online at 5starsoap.com. Again, go to 5starsoap.com and just try their products. You're going to love them. You will never use anything else again.
Dialectic Chaos, Megadeth. Gotta control myself not to do air guitar. Crank it up.
That's Dialectic Chaos from Endgame.
That sounds like old school, but with somewhat of a new edge to it. That sounds like old school heavy metal, speed metal almost.
Yeah, well, that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to stick with our roots and do what we know is what we do best. There was a period during the beginning of the millennium where bands were really forced to go and change themselves, not only change their image, change the way that they look and stuff like that, but also change the way that they make their living, their music. You know, it had to all get, everybody needed to be like Nirvana, you know, and I'm sorry, that was not my cup of tea. So, you know, we struggled through a lot of stuff, and right now it's probably the most liberated that we've been with our careers and our music.
So keeping it pure, you got a new book coming out. Tell us about that.
Right, it's called Hello Me, Meet the Real Me, which is a lyric from Sweating Bullets. It had to be called that, you know that. And it's basically me, the person. It's not just me, a musician, because, you know, they've written everything that can be written about me as a musician from their point of view. And, you know, some of it's true, some of it's not, some of it's folklore, some of it makes me a lot cooler than I really am, so I just let them continue to think that way. But with the book itself, when I got to the last page and I closed the book, I looked up. I actually was so I was so satiated. I was so content that they finally have got my life into a book so far, and that I read it and I went, you know what? I get it. This is it. This is it. This is who I am. It explained everything perfectly. And the best part about it, I think, at the end of every chapter, it's like, God, he did a lot of really rotten things, but at the end of every chapter, it tells how, all those things have been made amends for, if it's possible, and the people that we had all these hardships with, we've gone back and worked on things. Some people were in the band that I'm friends with still. Some people were in the band in the past, and I'm not friends with them.
Well, I tell you, I'm excited to read the new book when it comes out. Tell us about your new radio show you're launching. You're really going wild here. Well,
you've got a great platform here for you to be able to share your heart with the American people and to educate them, which is, I think, one of the highest honors in our country here, is to be able to teach our children, the teachers that were there. And everybody's always asked me, what would I do if I wasn't a musician? I'd like to be a teacher. I know the pay is crap, and I know that you don't get any respect, but I love teaching kids. I used to teach martial art at this one school in Scottsdale to kids because the other teachers there weren't really good with the kids, and I loved it. So that's one of the things that I really enjoy doing, and watching the way that the whole music industry is kind of eaten itself and changed it, with the whole digital download thing now. You've got to be really clever. So I really try my very best right now to participate with our fans as much as possible and listen to what they're talking about, what affects them. It's hard for me to really know what it's like to have food stamps now, but you know what? I did. I lived in a car when I was a teenager, and I was homeless. My mom was a maid, so I know all of these things that you have to go through to get by in life, and I think that's one of the things that most rock stars, they try and forget.
Well, I agree. I see people's arrogance and their haughtiness, and I've been arrogant in my life at certain points, but I kind of flash back and forth. But I realize you get so much more strength and discernment when you are humble and realize how transitory this life is.
Right. And, the best thing about it at the end of the day is you feel good about yourself when you've done something cool for somebody else, even if it's just enlightening them and educating them. Right now my son's almost 18, so we're going through a lot of life lessons right now. And yeah, he's making a lot of really costly mistakes, but he hasn't been dismembered or disfigured yet, so everything's okay. But, I see this and I'm thinking, like, God, I want to interrupt and I want to rescue him and I want to. But that's why most of the kids in America right now are having so many problems, because all this false praise these kids are getting. You know what? Little Johnny ain't perfect.
Well, the
he's such a great kid.
Well, the establishment, the controllers know that. They tell us we've got to be perfect. Madison Avenue tells us we've got to be perfect. So we all feel inadequate. So we've got to buy this death culture the New World Order is selling. And so, oh, yeah, your kid got in a fight. Oh, your kid's depressed because they're going into puberty. Oh, they need a bunch of mind-altering, government-issued drugs.
Yeah. Yep. That, or isolate them, or single them out in front of everybody.
Or give them electroshock therapy. Now, you were telling me during a break, I don't know if you want to say this on air, but you're going on tour, and you were telling me there's some disinfo going on out there about the tour.
About the tour? Which part? Oh, the Big Four thing. Yeah, there's rumors going around. In the beginning of heavy metal in the United States, there were 4 bands known as the Big Four, and that was Megadeth, Slayer, Metallica, and Anthrax. And, it's funny, whenever I have a new record coming out or anything like that, there's always something like this that perks up to kind of distract the interviews away from my interviews to something other than that. So this is nothing more than a rumor. People are saying that the 4 bands are going to get together and tour. We haven't heard anything about this other than just rumor and conjecture. So we are out with Slayer, which is fantastic, and we're trying really, really hard right now to mend broken fences and just to, do the right thing with these guys, because the fans love Megadeth and Slayer. The idea of us playing together, they're losing their minds. We went into Canada. It was just over the top metal just euphoria for these kids. We're going down to Australia. I'm leaving on the 2nd down there to New Zealand, Australia, then Japan, and then we're coming back. We're going into Canada, and God willing, we'll be bringing this package into the States someday.
And people can find out the tour dates around the globe at Megadeth.com. Death with an E, ladies and gentlemen. Megadeth.com. Dave Mustaine joins us, ladies and gentlemen, and we're very honored to have him. Dave, getting back into the whole global system, the whole New World Order, in a nutshell, if you feel like it, give us your worldview on the power structure. You say you've been doing a lot of research on it, and where you believe the planet is going and what the end game really is.
Well, that's a heavy question there to do all that. I'll try my best. Okay, I was brought up as a little kid. I got baptized at 4 as a Lutheran, and then I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness.